Do you know who created the law of universal gravitation? Or, for those who study science and engineering, who created calculus? Or explain about the light? This worldwide famous scientist known for these discoveries is Isaac Newton. Today let's cover facts about his life. Before we start, please give us your like and subscribe to the Evolving Knowledge channel. Let's get started. Isaac Newton was born on January 4, 1643, in Woolsthorpe, a small village in England. He was a premature baby and soon lost his father. When he was 2 years old, his mother remarried, and Isaac went to live with his grandmother. Newton demonstrated his frustration with his mother by writing a list of his sins that included threatening my father and mother Smith to burn them, and the house over them. From an early age, he showed an interest in handicrafts. At 14, he was taken back to his mother, whose husband had just died, to help with farm work. Instead of working hard on the farm, he preferred to spend his time reading. Newton wasn't a good student and didn't get along very well with students either. At 18, he was admitted to Trinity College, Cambridge College. He spent 4 years at Cambridge and received his Bachelor of Arts degree in 1665. He became friends with Professor Isaac Barrow, who encouraged him to develop his mathematical skills and made him his assistant. Between 1665 and 1667, when the college was closed because of a bubonic plague epidemic that ravaged England, and killed a tenth of the population, Isaac Newton had to return to his mother's house. During this time, Newton made the most important discoveries for science, including 3 laws of motion, the universal gravitational law, his co-discovery of calculus. The 3 laws of motion are: law of inertia. Every object stays in its state of rest or uniform motion, unless disturbed by an external force. Force law. The force acting on a body is defined as the rate of change of its linear momentum with time. Action-reaction law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The universal gravitational law. There is a very popular story that Newton was inspired by the falling of an apple from a tree and created the law of universal gravitation. Although this story is told in several forums, there is not much evidence that it actually happened. The fact is that regardless of Newton's inspirations, the law of universal gravitation was of extreme importance in the development of scientific knowledge. This law, elaborated by Isaac Newton, is one of the most fundamental laws. In it, he supported and projected that every particle of matter attracts others, and it is attracted by them. It's not only the Earth that attracts the apple from the tree towards its center, but the apple also attracts the Earth. This law applies to all planets. The Sun attracts the Earth attracts the Moon, and the Moon attracts the Earth. Newton showed that the force between bodies depends on their mass, as well as on their distance. And he taught how to calculate these forces. Calculus. Calculus, originally called infinitesimal calculus, is the mathematical study of continuous change, in the same way that geometry is the study of shape, and algebra is the study of generalizations of arithmetic operations. Infinitesimal calculus was developed independently in the late 17th century by Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz. Today, calculus has widespread uses in science, engineering, and social science. In 1666, Newton observed that the spectrum of colors exiting a prism in the position of minimum deviation is oblong, even when the light ray entering the prism is circular, which is to say, the prism refracts different colors by different angles. This led him to conclude that color is a property intrinsic to light, a point which had until then been a matter of debate. Challenged by Robert Hooke to prove his theories about planetary orbits, Newton produced what is considered the foundation for physics as we know it. He wrote the Principia. This book is recognized as the most important scientific book ever written. The Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica took Newton 2 years to write. It was the culmination of more than 20 years of thinking. It outlined his theories developed during the plague epidemic. He was warden of the Royal Mint. During this period, he strengthened the currency and rebuilt the national credit. In 1703, Newton was elected president of the Royal Society. As the leading figure in British natural philosophy, Newton had completed his most important work. Now he set about securing his reputation. In 1705, Queen Anne conferred the title of Sir on Newton. He was the first scientist to receive such an honor. Isaac Newton died in London on March 31, 1727 with 87 years old. His funeral was pompous. 6 noble members of the English Parliament carried his coffin to Westminster Abbey, where his remains remain. In Cambridge, a statue was erected in his honor with the words, "He surpassed men by the power of his thoughts." Newton was definitely one of the most important scientists of all time. Tell us in the comments section which facts you found more interesting. For more science-related videos, hit the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.